Well, we just got some breaking news out of the Vatican as it is official, everyone. We have a pope. Yes, this is real. This isn't speculation. It is confirmed that a little while ago, the Cardinals have elected Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost as a 267th pope who took the name Pope Leo XIV. Which, if I'm being completely honest, I knew nothing about this guy before he was elected. I don't think anyone really did. There were some people here and there that knew something about the guy, but when we talked about this cardinal election, we were talking about people like Cardinal Sarah, not Prevost. No one knew who he was 5 minutes ago, but now he officially became Pope Leo XIV. And I want to give my thoughts on this because this was such an unexpected result that a lot of people are losing their minds. A lot of people are losing it. They're claiming this is the end of the church, everything's falling apart, it's all over, and a lot of people are celebrating this as the greatest thing ever. And I want to give my take on it because I have my own perspective on this. Now, I want to be clear about one thing. We don't know how Pope Leo XIV is going to be. We don't. I mean, he's been the Pope for what, 5 minutes? So, yeah, we don't know how he's going to actually be as Pope. A lot could happen. But we do got past statements that concern some people, but at the same time, there's some things he's done and said in the past that gives people some confidence that he could actually be a fairly good pope. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be as conservative or great as, like, Pope John Paul II. It's entirely possible he is. I'm not saying he will or won't. But at the same time, the people say that he's going to be more progressive or whatever than Francis. I'm sorry, guys, you're delusional. Is it entirely possible? Maybe. But based on what I'm seeing and reading, I'm not getting that same feeling that this is going to be Pope Francis 2.0. I don't think it will be. It could be, I guess, but based on what we know as of now, which, if I'm being honest, it's not that much. It's not like we know everything about Cardinal Sarah, which I personally wanted somebody like Sarah, somebody very conservative like that. But that doesn't mean that he's automatically liberal. Now, let's start with what we do know. Let's start with what he wore today, because I do believe there are some indicators from what he wore today that this will not be a Pope Francis 2.0 situation. Just look at what he wore. Okay, this is what Pope Leo XIV wore today. Okay, and to some people, this doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Like, oh, who cares? This looks kind of generic. Like, the garments that Pope Leo wore today doesn't seem that important. But compare that to the garments that Pope Francis wore, and you notice there's a big difference. You can tell right away, oh, wait a minute, this is completely different. And for those that are wondering, let's just go back to Pope Benedict. He wore the same thing that Pope Leo wore, and same thing with Pope John Paul II. You notice the difference? Francis did not wear this. Which, for those that are wondering, it's because he had this weird philosophy of, oh, I can't wear these special garments because I want to be humble. I want to be seen as humble. Which, I understand what he was trying to accomplish with that philosophy, but this was stupid. This idea of, well, I can't wear anything nice, that's ridiculous. Well, Pope Leo, this is what he wore. It's very nice garments, and everyone immediately recognized that. It's like, hey, wait a minute, it's been a long time since we saw this. It's been, what, 20 years? So immediately you could tell that, okay, this guy's taking the more traditional garments more seriously. He's not just not wearing anything because, oh, he wants to be humble. No, he's wearing the same stuff that Pope Benedict wore, same as Pope John Paul II. So I think this is a good start, because it looks like he is more than willing to wear the traditional stuff, not ignore history and tradition and wear the same crap over and over again. No, he's going to wear the more traditional stuff, which already, that's a huge upgrade over Francis. I don't care who you are, you cannot deny that the drip here by Pope Leo XIV, it's better than this. Again, I understand what Francis was trying to accomplish, but I'm sorry, dude, you're the Pope. You don't have to pretend to look homeless or whatever. It's like, no, that philosophy is just dumb. It never made any sense. But I do think this is a good start for Pope Leo. He's bringing back some kind of tradition to what the Pope wears, which I know to some people is not a big deal, but for a lot of Catholics, it was a big criticism. Like, dude, just wear something nice. wear the traditional clothing, and then some people may not complain as much. But no, that's not what he did. Now, to some people, this isn't that big of a deal. Like, okay, whatever. It's wearing this stuff may not seem that important for many people, but I do believe that for a lot of Catholics, it's a breath of fresh air. Like, finally, back to what popes used to wear 20 years ago. Right? It's a breath of fresh air for a lot of people. But let's talk about what he actually said during the speech, which it wasn't perfect. I'm not going to claim that, oh, everything he said was perfect. It was great. I'm not saying that. But I do think overall his speech was fairly good. His speech really focused on trying to unite the church. Because for those that don't know, there's a massive divide between the more Catholic cardinals and stuff and the more conservative cardinals. It's a pretty big divide, and that's why a lot of people thought that, oh, this conclave was going to last 15 weeks. But Pope Leo made it explicitly clear he wants to unite the church. He threw a bone to both sides. He's like, listen, we got to work together. We got to unite the church. And some of the stuff he did say, I disagreed with, but a large chunk of the speech, he talked about conserving the church. He spoke about evil not prevailing. And again, what he wore was pretty good. So he focused on uniting the church. He gave both sides wins. He's like, listen, we got to unite the church. We got to show compassion, build bridges, blah, blah, blah. All the stuff that Francis would say. But at the same time, he's talking about conserving the church, protecting the church. We're not going to let evil prevail. That's what he said. That does not sound like Pope Francis. It sounds like somebody that wants to really unite the church. That's Pope Leo for the sounds of it. He does not care about trying to appease one side or the other more. He just wants to unite the church and bring back some conservative values. That's his focus, which I support that. I think we needed somebody like Pope Leo to come in and say, okay, this is stupid. We got to actually unite the church. But there are some concerns with Pope Leo that I want to talk about. His Twitter account is a big concern for a lot of people, and including myself. There's some stuff he said which was stupid. For those that don't know, there's a bunch of tweets from Pope Leo in the past, like 10 years ago, where he's attacking President Trump, and in recent months, he's been attacking Vance and Trump for the immigration stuff, right? That's what he's attacked Vance and Trump over, immigration, which that's what a lot of people are worried about. It's like, oh my goodness, it's going to be another liberal on immigration, which I'm not going to deny that Pope Leo more than likely is going to be a bit more liberal on some immigration stuff. I'm not denying that, because I do have some concerns with the immigration issue. But at the same time, this idea that, oh, you know, Pope Leo was the most liberal on immigration, he was the worst choice on it, that's not true. Guys, if you look at the Cardinals that had any chance at winning, you're going to realize that, oh, wait a minute, outside of like one of them, basically every single Cardinal is to the left on immigration. Now, there are some that are just like batshit crazy on it, but there are others like Pope Leo that seem to be a bit more moderate, like not like far left, you can't have any borders. It's more like, hey, don't treat the migrants bad. You know, that generic talking point. That's what it sounds like Pope Leo is saying here. It's like, he's not saying that we can't have a border. He's just saying, hey, maybe treat the migrants with care. That's his messaging, which, if you think that's far left for the church, I'm sorry, but the average cardinal, they agree with that. Even the most conservative guys, outside of like two of them, they agree with what Pope Leo says about immigration. So, this idea that it's a far left pope on immigration, no, for the cardinal standards, not really. But at the same time, there's signs that, oh, this guy's gonna be more conservative. Apparently, he's a big fan, or he was a big fan of the Latin Mass, which for those that live in Iraq, that's a big deal for conservative, the conservative wing of the church, because the Latin Mass was the Mass for centuries. It was a traditional Mass that in recent years has been more restricted. And apparently, he's a fan of it. In the past, he wanted to do it. So, here's my take. I think at some issues like immigration, he's going to be a bit to the left, okay? Pope Leo will undoubtedly lean to the left on some issues. Not every issue, but I do think compared to Francis, though, is there really a single issue that you could say that he's going to for sure lean further to the left on than Francis did? not even immigration. I mean, the rhetoric he's saying on Twitter, it's like, oh, don't treat the migrants bad. That's all he is saying. I mean, he's like retweeting Cardinal Dolan, who is fairly conservative. I mean, apparently he met with a conservative Cardinals a couple days ago. To me, this sounds like somebody that he's going to be more to the right compared to Francis. Not perfect, not like super duper conservative, but at the bare minimum, I do think he's going to reverse some of the stuff that's happened the last 15 years. I really believe that. I think he's going to reverse some of the changes that Pope Francis had. So, my opinion is, we shall see. I have faith that Pope Leo will be great. I think he'll do a great job. I just have a gut feeling about it. If I'm wrong, okay, I'm wrong. But have faith in it. Don't be one of those people that say, oh, Pope Leo sucks. You know, he said something bad about Trump 15 years ago. I'm not going to be a Catholic anymore. If you're not a Catholic anymore because Pope Leo said something 10 years ago, and even just a few months ago when he wasn't even the Pope, I'm sorry, that's stupid. Give him time. If he does something dumb, okay, that's a different story. But he's been the Pope for 5 minutes, and so far as a Pope, I'm encouraged. I like what I'm seeing. I'm liking the fact that he seems to take tradition way more seriously, and it sounds like he's not going to be as liberal as Pope Francis. Like, some people claim he's going to be further left than him. Guys, this does not sound like somebody further to the left than Pope Francis. I'm sorry. The sounds of it, it sounds like he's the compromise pick. He was a pick that even the conservatives liked. Because the math, when you look at it, he had to get some kind of conservative support to win. And that's what it sounds like happened. He had just enough conservatives backing him. For whatever reason, they said, okay, you know what? Fine, we shall support you. So maybe he's a lot more conservative than we think. Maybe he is like another John Paul II. I'm not saying he will be. That's kind of a stretch. I understand that. But from what I'm seeing right now, I have faith that Pope Leo will do a great job. I think he will. If I'm wrong, okay, I'm wrong. But for those that are saying he's going to be awful right away, I'm sorry, you're just basing that off of tweets from 10 years ago or a couple months ago. You don't know how he's going to be as a pope. Who knows? Maybe he's the most conservative pope in like 100 years. Maybe that's what happens. I don't know. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.